Welcome back to the YouTube channel on Pro Enzo Vidz, and this is the Ankle Breaker Podcast, episode number 38. So we are not very far from the 40 milestone. That's very close now, and the podcast I think is getting better and better. And proud to say that I'm joined by a special guest this afternoon, CJ Moxley. Now, look, obviously Rugby League Round Up is not here, who's the usual co-host as we know, but unfortunately for Billy, he's unavailable. So we'll just see, and hopefully he's back next week. But I've got CJ as the special guest, and obviously Souths were unlucky to not get that win on Saturday. But other than that, bro, how you been?
Yeah, besides that, I've been all right, bro. It was a good week of footy. We'll get into that, but thanks for having me on, bro. One of the best podcasts on YouTube, and just honoured to be on.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Look, obviously it was a pretty tough week for our sides. Manly weren't any better. I wish we beat Roosters, but we know with the whole situation that week was going to be hard to win any games or win a game like that for that week, I should say. But look, let's hope both Manly and South Bend's back next week. But before we do get into anything else, just going to go for the live chat as I'm doing right now. So seems like we've got 7 people watching the stream right now and inside 2 minutes. So nice to see a bit of a crowd building up. So for those who are watching right now that haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel of CJ Moxley, I would hope and I would really consider subscribing to him. Look, he hasn't uploaded in a little while, but I think he's going to get back into some content soon, though.
Sorry, guys. Once I'm done with school in 7 weeks, I promise I'll upload a lot more.
Yeah, no, that's important. Probably school as well. Obviously, you're finishing school for good, and I think when that happens, I can't wait to see you post more content. Look, we've got Riley in the chat as well. We've got Cody Games PlayStation. How's it going, Cody? And we've got Jason Reader, the Roosters fan. Good game last Thursday. Your boys are just too good. Look, good to see everyone turn up on a Monday afternoon. This is obviously the Ankle Breaker Podcast, episode number 38. So, like I said, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and subscribe to CJ's channel as well. His link is in the description down below. But we're just going to kick off into some breaking news, mate. So, before we get into all the topics, for those people that are watching right now and the viewers that haven't heard about this, there is some news about David Clemmer. As we know, the Knights forward, he might join the Eels effective immediately on a loan deal, as well as Oliver Gilder, which has already been confirmed, him going to the Roosters on a loan deal as well. So very, very surprised, actually, because these are two players that I thought, would stay for the remainder of the year at least and not go to both Eels or Roosters on loan deals. I'm still very surprised about it, and I don't know if I'm a fan of like early transfers, especially around the finals time. But when you see this, CJ, what do you think? Like, what do you think of the early sort of movements? Like, do they benefit each club, these pickups?
Yeah, I think it'll benefit. I think it benefits clubs heading in the finals, especially with some experience. Like you see the Eels pick up David Clemmer there. I really like the Clemmer pickup. I think Parramatta will be stronger with him, whether he starts or not, but I think it's a good one. With Gildart, on the other hand, I think another club could have used him. I don't think the Roosters really needed him, as they already got Momirovski, Nagama. They could have used someone like Adam Kieran as well, but they'll take it. It's definitely interesting, but it bolsters their team, so they'll take it.
Yeah, no doubt. I just want to say, like, with Parramatta, they were supposed to sign Martin Tapau, obviously. And Tapau was supposed to go to Parramatta early, but I think Manly want to keep him there for the remainder of the year, just so it's a bit of experience and just depth in the forwards going into finals. Just if we do make it, so we have him there as just cover up for the rest of the season, which makes sense. But that's why Parramatta have gone to get Clemmer now. We're just going to pause for a second because we've got the co-host actually commenting the stream right now, and Rugby League Round Up, how's it going, bro? He says, hey, bro, sorry I couldn't be on today. As you know, for a reason I won't say, just came in to say hi and hope you and CJ have a good podcast. Yeah, no, all good. We know that you'll be back next week, and I can't wait to see you back as the other co-host again. So all good, bro, all good. As I was saying, look, Clemmer to the Parramatta is a surprising one because I thought that Knights would probably keep Clemmer for the remainder of the year, only because there was like no rumors circulating that he would leave Newcastle. So it's an interesting one. But Parramatta did try to go for Matt Lodge and to Power, but they missed out
Failed.
both. And, yeah, they failed and got Clement now. So it's an interesting pickup, but it helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, it absolutely does. Some good experience in their pack heading into finals.
Yeah, definitely. And good luck to the Roosters. That's an interesting one as well because I thought Roosters had plenty of depth actually with Momirovski and Sawali, Tupou. Like I thought they were covered in the backs actually. So good luck to them as a bit of a surprise, but he's definitely going to benefit that squad. That's for sure. I think he's going to really help them head into finals. What do you make of Gilda going to the Roosters? I know you don't like the club that much, but like in terms of the signing, what do you think of it?
In my opinion, I don't know if you'll get any game time in first grade, to be honest. It's more like a pickup for the North Sydney Bears, if anything. But
Maybe, yeah.
I think he'll benefit under someone like Trent Robinson. And obviously, I don't know if it's official, but it looks like he'll head to the Dolphins next year. So
Yeah.
going under Robinson to Bennett, bro, that's going to be so good for his career long term.
Oh, for sure. I mean, like a lot of people obviously bagging Oliver Gilda only because he just came from the Super League this year to Australia, and people are saying, look, he's a good player. Like he's a quality player. If you watch Super League, you know what kind of centre he is. He's played for England, and obviously was good for Wigan when he was over there in the Super League. So people need to give it time, give it a bit of a rest. This sort of hate on him because he's a good player. He's a quality centre, and I think it'd be good for the Roosters and it'd be good for the Dolphins actually as well. So they're interesting pickups for both sides though. So just thought I might add that in to start the podcast, but we are going to get into the official topics now. So as always, we review the round it was of round 20 of the NRL. So yeah, look, round 20 was a very interesting round because a lot of things happened that week. A lot of situations, I guess you can say as well, but just your thoughts, CJ, on the round it was. What did you make of round 20?
Well, Thursday night's game was I don't even remember what game it was.
Roosters Manly.
Yeah, Roosters Manly. Yeah, look, I think if Manly had their full strength team, they'd probably go on to win that. Unfortunately, that game was just known for the pride jersey drama and all that. Friday night was a bit of a surprise, I thought, with Parramatta overtopping Penrith and that Melbourne Warriors game. Saturday kind of sucked for me personally. Nico Hines clutches against us. Tigers upsetting the Broncos, which nobody saw, 13+. And Sunday footy, I thought Sunday was a bit average. But look, it was a good round. There was a couple quality games in there, a few shockers, but I enjoyed the round. I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, well said. I agree. I think this round was not bad, apart from Manly and obviously your boys losing. I think the quality of it was pretty good. Seeing, I guess Tigers getting upset over Broncos, which was a good thing to see, I think. Especially when Tigers were, robbed and done last week against the Cowboys. I think it was good to see them just back up with an actual proper win for once. And they didn't, after obviously what happened against Cowboys, they, didn't, slack off from that robbery. So they did well to beat Brisbane there. And as you said, Eels beating Panthers was also another big surprise. But as we know, Cleary's send-off was a big change point in that game. So I think if he stayed on, I would have given Penrith a bit of a chance of winning that one. But yeah, look, Parramatta played well, and you'll give him credit for that, playing well at in the Battle of the West at CommBank. So that was two good games I thought as well. So I agree. I'll give it probably a 6 out of 10 or maybe a 7.5 out of 10 this round. I didn't think it was bad. Now we're moving on to topic number 2, and this is where we're going to talk about a couple of things here. So, as I said before, Martin Powell's going to stay at Manly now for the remainder of the year due to, I guess, having him as a boost for finals if we do make finals. And Nathan Brown, obviously the Eels one, not the coach, but the forward, he will either join the Dogs or will join the Tigers. So they're the two rumours that are happening there. Powell might join Parramatta, but that's been hosed down now. But he might join your boys, CJ Souths, if it does go ahead that pick up. So, first of all, we'll start with Martin Powell. What do you think about Martin Powell, like in his form this year? And would you welcome him to Souths? Like, where would you play him if he joins Souths? As there's been rumours he might go there.
Yeah, I'll take him at South Sydney, but it's just about. I think this year has been a bit slow off the pace. He
Yeah.
could be playing better footy. I'd take him for experience, and I think he'd add to that pack a lot. He's 32, so by the time he comes, he'll be 33. So I would only sign him on a 1 year deal, probably a club option for the second year. Um,
Yeah, that's fair.
where'd be play? We've got a lot of depth where he'll probably slot into the team. I don't think he'll start. I'm not sure if he'll start. He could come off the bench.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe.
I think in his age now, he could be a bench player for us, but he'll definitely be in our 17, I believe.
Yeah, no, I think he will. Look, he's obviously getting older, and he's sort of lost his aggression, I think, as he gets older as well. So, but look, he's always been a good player, in my opinion. I've always liked Marty at Manly. I think he's always been a good front rower. Done a job for us, but as you can probably tell now, this year's been off the pace a bit with making too many errors and not, really doing enough to hold on to his starting spot. That's why he's on the bench now, because he's of his form. So. Um, Look, I'm not gonna. It's not a big loss for Manly. It's not. I'm not gonna really miss him, but he was good for the 6 years he was with us. Though, like he did a job, I thought. So, um, but where does he go? If it's South, so I heard Dragons 1 point, but that's not going to happen now. I don't know where that Dragons room came from. But yeah, I think he's going to join your boys. Souths are definitely the sort of first pick for him, I suppose. Only
Yeah.
because that's been reported by a couple of things.
I'm
Parramatta
pretty
were
sure
obviously,
he lives in the South Sydney area as well.
well, he bought a house. He bought a house around the area too. So yeah, look, it'll be either Souths or either, I don't know. I think just Souths, but the Dragons one is interesting, but I doubt they're going to get him now. So yeah, it's interesting where he ends up. I mean, he's going to be 33, so he doesn't have long left. But we'll move on to Nathan Brown's situation now. So Nathan Brown, obviously, he's been told by Paramount not to be there at the club next year, which I'm a bit surprised about, because I don't think Nathan Brown's an awful player. I mean, he's, you know, yeah, he's not in his best form, but he's solid, I think. But yeah, he'll either go to the Bulldogs, like it's been reported, and there's Tigers as well as another option. So where do you see Nathan Brown going, CJ, at the end of the year, Dogs or Tigers? Because that's between those two clubs.
I think Nathan Brown will be a Bulldog next year.
Yep,
I just can't see him going back to the Tigers. I think the Bulldogs would be a good fit for him. They're on the up. They're rebuilding well. Cameron Serraldo is expected to be there. So, yeah, look, I
yeah,
think Nathan Brown, he'll go to the arch rival. But honestly, I think it's pretty harsh that Para let him go. I think on his day he's a really solid player. And he's that sort of player that will bring that aggression back to the Bulldogs, like that dogs of war sort of aggression. So I think it's a really good pickup.
yeah.
Whether he comes off the bench or starts, I'm not sure. But I think it's a good pickup for the Dogs, man. I really do.
No, I agree. I think Dogs are his location. I mean, I've heard more about him going to the Dogs than what I've heard of the Tigers, and I think with the Tigers, he left in bad terms there as well, I believe. So yeah, I think
Right.
Dogs will pick him up, and know the Bulldogs are looking for some quality front rows as well. I mean, they're about to sign Franklin Pele, and they've also signed Andrew Davies, so they're good pickups for them. But I think they're gonna acquire Nathan Brown too. So yeah, look, I think it's a good pickup. I think it is. Whether he starts or just a bench pickup, I think it's a lot of depth there with Paul Vaughan going and Luke Thompson potentially leaving as well, going back to England. So, yeah, I agree. I think Dogs will sign him, but depends for how long, though. Interesting
2 years,
signing
I've
room.
heard.
Uh, Sorry, what was that?
I'm hearing it's for 23 and 24, Nathan Brown to Canterbury.
So for 2 years, yeah, that's not too bad. Then I'd offer him around that as well. But yeah, look, we're going to move on to the third topic now, and it's a topic where it's a problem in the game today, only because these tackles are very bad and very dangerous. I will say cannonball tackles. That's what it's called. Um, Now, cannonball tackles have often ended player seasons, such as well, you would know how Liam Knight ended his season by Naduki, that Parramatta rookie. He basically injured knee by doing the handball tackle, and that's what he meant for the rest of the season. So it's an awful, disgusting tackle, pretty much. And same for Patrick Carrigan and Jackson Hastings this weekend. It's exact same tackle, two players tackling from the top, and then Carrigan was the third man going in tackling behind the legs, which exposed the knees and makes get a really bad injury. I mean, I think Hastings got a broken patella or broken leg from it. I don't know.
Right?
Yeah, it was one of them. But either way, that's awful for Hastings, and I feel really sorry for him because he's been the Tigers' best player. But yeah, look, we're just going to give an answer, everyone, and basically on what we think the maximum suspension should be for any kind of ball tackle because it's pretty serious. So, look, what do you think, CJ? What's the maximum suspension you would give for a cannonball tackle in your opinion?
Well, to start with, there's zero way someone can defend a tackle like this. It's disgusting and it needs to get out the game. It's ended a few players' seasons already. It's not good one bit. I think one day it's going to really do damage to someone where medical retirement could come involved, unfortunately. The maximum suspension, for a player in general, I'd probably go 6 to 8 weeks. And I know that sounds harsh, but you got to also remember you're ending a player's season. So that takes him out for the year. For someone like Carrigan, though, I'll probably give him about 2, 3, maybe 4, if I'm being honest. But look, in general, I think 8 weeks is the maximum for a cannonball tackle because it's a disgusting tackle. It needs to go.
Yeah, it's not good, that's for sure. Just going to look at Faraz's comment here. He says, Carrigan just made a good tackle. Honestly, yes, it's unfortunate it ended his season, but then if we want to remove the tackle, then the game will just get softer. You can't control his injuries. Well, I mean, yes, you can't control his injuries and you can't control his tackles. That's right. But the thing is, we're trying to actually remove it,
Yeah, I understand his
because
point,
it's
but
off-season. I think I might just cut out there. Can you still hear me? I think I cut out a bit there.
I hear you now. Yeah, you cut out, but you're good now.
Yeah, so apologies about that. But yeah, no, look, I understand. I understand what Fries is saying there, but look, we're trying to do a purpose of rubbing these tackles out. I mean, it exposes the knee. Like exposing the knee is never a good thing. I mean, imagine when imagine going through, I don't know, knee injuries and knee reconstruction when you get older. It's going to affect you probably in the long run as well if you cop onto these injuries. I mean, last year I got a cannonball tackle from Aloye last year. I still remember that one. And yeah, obviously, like I said, the Liam Knight one and now the Hastings one, it's ended players' seasons and it's a really bad tackle. And I don't think the game's gonna get any softer because of it. Like it's a bad tackle. Everyone would know that, and it's part of the rules to not do it. I mean, it's out of our control, obviously, but still, it's an awful tackle at the end of it. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree, and I'm willing for the game to get softer on those sort of tackles if it means that it doesn't force a potential medical retirement in the future.
Yeah, I agree. What would be my final suspension? This might sound harsh, but I'd give him 5 weeks personally. I really would. I think 5 weeks
Carrigan
is what
or
I'd
a
give.
player in general?
I mean any player, but just for
Yep.
the cannonball tackle he did, yeah, I think 5 weeks the maximum. Look, I just think this is a really awful tackle. I think it really is because it can really do some damage to your knees and to your lower legs, etc. So I just think it's that bad of a tackle. It needs to have a lengthy suspension, in my opinion. But that's my thoughts anyway. That's all I think about with
That's
it.
fair enough. That's fair enough.
But yeah, I don't know if we've heard anything yet on what he's got, Carrigan. But yeah, he will miss games. Oh yeah, actually, we're going to mention this as well. So thanks for reminding me, Felix. He says Nelson Solomon should be suspended, in my opinion. What a joke! He got away with that hit on Wei Egan. Yeah, that's another one. We should mention that one as well. Yeah, fucking hell! Like, how can he not get suspended for basically shouldering or elbowing his Wei Egan's jaw while he was on the floor like that? Like that's just, if that was any other player other than a Storm player, they would have got like 3 or something weeks, I bet. But for some reason, Nelson, who has a big track record actually of being suspended for many things, doesn't get suspended here. Like, how does that work? What do you think about that?
If that isn't double standard, then I don't know what is. He's
Yeah.
fucking gone in on Egan's jaw like any other player's gone for 3-4 weeks or something like that. And like you said, man, he's had a track record of being suspended with stuff like this in the past. And man, I'm
Exactly.
furious that he's not even getting suspended. If he got suspended for 1 week, I wouldn't even care. But to not get suspended at all, it's a fucking joke. It's a joke.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that was an awful tackle. I just think that's just disgusting how he got off of that one. But we are going to move on to the next topic now. So, so up to now. This is an interesting one because there are many teams in it to win it, and you obviously don't want to win it, obviously, but because there's these 3 teams in the Titans, the Tigers, and Knights, they are all sides that could potentially win the Wood Spoon in 2022. So who wins it? Who knows? But look, I should have probably prepared and got the draw up for each side, but just obviously all 3 sides are as bad as each other. That's the problem. Titans are looking awful. They can't defend for their life. They can score points, but they can't defend any points against them. Tigers are just in shambles. So, they may have had a good win against the Broncos, but doesn't take away the fact they've been awful this year. And as for the Knights, well, they've gone backwards, haven't they? I mean, the Knights have a good team, but they just don't gel properly, and that's just a disappointing thing for them. So they're in contention as well. But yeah, look, at the end of the season, who gets a wooden spoon in your opinion? But I'll give my thoughts on who I think will be. But who do you reckon will be the wooden spooners for 2022?
I think it's going to be the Gold Coast Titans. I think it comes down to him. That inexperience in the spine has really shown out this year. And from being a finals team to now last place, they're really missing someone that directs around the field. I think the Titans will. I can't see them winning any games they got left. And that game against Newcastle in round 24 at the Gold Coast, I think that could be a spoon bowl. And
Oh, really good.
I think the Tigers, that win against the Broncos should give them confidence. And if they beat the Knights on Sunday, I think they should do enough to avoid it, but it's the Tigers, so you don't know. But for me, it's the Titans, bro. I can't see them winning any games this year.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, look, Titans for me are the wooden spooners, and I just want to point out as well, this coming week in round 21, the Tigers play the Knights at Campbelltown this Sunday, and the Titans play the Storm this Friday in the Gold Coast. And I think those 2 results will go to the Storm smashing the Titans and Tigers getting a win over the Knights, and that will pretty much confirm the wooden spooners for 2022 being the Titans, in my opinion. So. I reckon Titans for me with the spoon year. They've been disappointing. I know Gary Ford's will pick up for the next year, but still got a long way to go. In my opinion, they just don't have the team to. They don't have the team to contend for the top 8 anytime soon. So yeah, I think that Titans will get the spoon for me. Just go look into some comments before we get on to the last topic. Fnatic says, in my ladder predictions, I had them as my spoon winners, the Knights. Not sure how many games they can win from here on. Yeah, I had Knights coming. When I had Knights, I had them coming 15th this year actually, so yeah. I'm not too far off. If it happens, but yeah, well, I mean, the first 2 rounds it didn't look like that was going to happen, but there we go. They're at the bottom now, and I think they're definitely a good chance of getting the spoon still, but we'll see what happens. And Night Hall Gaming says last 2 weeks they have been a top 8 side. I'm assuming you're referring to the Tigers now, aren't you? With basically being robbed against Cowboys and which is basically pretty a win, you still assume, and the Broncos. So I'm guessing that's what you're referring to, not Hall Gaming. Correct me if I'm wrong, but look, I think Titans will get the spoon. That's what I reckon. And all right, on to the round. Topic number 5. So we are at the end of the podcast. We conclude with our team of the week for round 20, and we give our player of the round as well. So CJ, I'd like to hear from first on your team of the week for round 20, and who was your player of the round as well?
All right, let's get into it. My fullback is Scott Drinkwater. My wingers are Jacob Kiraz and Edward Cossey. My centres are Valentine Holmes and Joseph Manu. My halves consist of Adam Dewey and Nicholas Hines. My prop is Joseph Tarpanay. My hooker, Reece Robson. My second row, Jeremiah Nanai. My lock is Jason Tamalalo. And on my bench, it is Micah Sevo, Mitchell Moses, Hudson Young, and Dane Laurie. And my player of the round is Jacob Kiraz.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, that's a good team. Thanks for that. That's not too different from mine actually, but so my player of the round, I'm gonna give it to. I had a tough time thinking about this one, but I'm gonna give it to. You know what? I'm gonna give it to Val Holmes. I'm gonna give it to Val Holmes. I think Holmes was really good yesterday. I know that Nano was probably better than him, but I think just the way Holmes played and how he's improving in the centres every week, I think he deserves the credit in my opinion. So I'm giving Holmes my player of the round. But as for my team of the week for round 20, I've got fullback Latrell Mitchell, the wingers are Jacob Kiraz and Edward Cossey. My centres are Joseph Manu and Val Holmes. My halves are Adam Dewey and halfback Nico Hines. My prop is Junior Pulo and Paul Vaughan. My hooker is Reed Marnie. And my back rows are Isaiah Papali'i and Jeremiah Nanai. And my lock is Cameron Murray. And off the bench, I've got Tamalolo, Hudson Young, Zach Fulton, and last but not least, Jeremy Marshall King. But anyway, everyone, that brings it into the Anchor Breaker Podcast episode 38. Thanks for watching. And CJ, thanks again for coming on the podcast yet again. Filling for Rugby League Round Up pretty much.
No worries. Good to be on the podcast. One of the best podcasts on YouTube. Always good to get on. And yeah, bro, thanks for having me on. It was a great show.
Yeah, no worries. And make sure to subscribe to CJ's channel as well. His link is in the description down below. So be sure to check him out if you haven't already. But this concludes the Ankle Breaker Podcast episode 38. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you all next Monday for episode 39.